Hello everybody, my name is Ponce and welcome to another video on the channel Vaz Cuisine. Now today I decided to do a updated version of my city's tour. We did a lot this year. That I've both recorded as well as done on the sidelines, and so I'm very proud of the way that the city grew. And yeah, the area we are in is currently Cacique Central. And at the beginning of last year, when I did that city tour, I didn't really mess with this area too much. I didn't really have anything going on over here. I didn't even have the city's like coasts completed. So it's like, now that it's like I got the islands mapped out, I got them carved out, I went around doing the fill command on every single nook and cranny, giving the islands that curvature that they wanted, that I wanted. It feels good. It feels good. I feel like, last year was really trying to get the city to look like how I want it to look like, in terms of the area, in terms of the like the very distinct districts I want to create and have created. And overall, I'm very happy with the way that I came out. I'm very happy with the way it's going. I'm very, it's an amazing experience. It's an amazing experience. There's the Kachi Hotel. Well, the motel, I should say, because we actually have a larger Kachi Hotel. And there's the bus depot. It was originally going to be a train depot, but then the city's budget just wouldn't get to it. Wouldn't do it. So now it just handles the buses. And it's always 3 o'clock. Damn clock's broken. Here's the Plena Plaza district of the city. It's right next to Viejo Medalla. And it kind of, brings that Viejo Medalla aspect into it. Brings that older historical Caribbean vibe. Now, if you notice in the video, I'm trying to more focus on the newer projects. The newer projects, like I didn't. The last time I did a city tour, I might have had these roads situated, but I didn't have anything down here. I didn't have any form of life. I didn't, have anything going on over here. And it's like nowadays there is a lot going on over here, and there's still gonna be more. Just I kind of feel like I want to get certain districts that I've been working on since the start of the city done before coming in over here and end up doing this district. Not calling it an afterthought. There's the larger Akachi Hotel. I might do a video of that soon, but like we have a large area to cover, and like that was the original city map that I built when first designing the city. But it's like the city grew even beyond that, so it's like I don't know, what to do. This is going to be more of a it's gonna be more of a like tourism district. Here's going to be a community college campus. It has those 2 bus stations, and then this is going to be the main parking garage facility for the colleges. I want to create like its own little brick district. Maybe add some housing, maybe a housing development over there. There's that infamous like like floating ocean, I guess I want to call it. There's the Medalla Bank. which I believe I did either this year or last year. Like this past year that I was doing it, or no, I think that was new. So I'm glad I was able to check that out. I moved that brick building right there into on the other side of Medalla Boulevard, and then this is a newer neighborhood that I'm slowly working on. I posted a planning Mabrica video, and that's the neighborhood that I was like planning out. Roxbury Heights. These islands did have a little bit of updating, not too much, so I didn't really want to dive into these. If you want to see these areas in more depth, then please go ahead and check out my older city tours. Sorry about that. I'm currently doing this right before heading to work, so and here's a newer neighborhood that I'm using to connect two areas. This is going to be Gachi Plaza, which I've already mapped out and and did the roads for. It's just filling it in now. But I want this area to be very I want this area to show off that it was built in the in like that steel revolution of in terms of building, where it's like, they started adding steel and then the buildings just got bigger in the process. So yeah. And I seen when I was doing this neighborhood, I seen this video of the floating bridges in New York City. So eventually we are gonna have some floating bridges in this part of the city as well. And yeah, and then here we are entering West Roxbury Heights. This is the first spot and first island coming in from Lamitan, and it's called Creole Commons, Creole Condos. Well, I called it Creole Condos, but I think it's gonna be more called Creole Commons. And here's going to be the main plaza. It has the woman Puerto Rican flag, which that's what, and it also has the Haitian flag. And then to kind of like bring that whole neighborhood aspect together, I decided to do pixel art of the insignia in the middle of the Haitian flag on the side of those buildings. And here's just some more colorful older Caribbean buildings, and I also wanted to do these beautiful row houses, these shotgun houses. I wanted to have like a whole neighborhood that I just wanted you to like walk in and feel like you were in like the bayou or something like that, like some place in the south. And then these are the first buildings I ever did with the newer blocks. I wanted to make a house for each of the primary colors. So I have a red house, a blue house, and a yellow house. Here's my gonna be another area that I'm gonna be doing. It's gonna be all condos. I also have these larger buildings over here. There's gonna be a new plaza in the making. Here I hope to put another plaza. This I might put I think I might want to put a commercial plaza. So this is gonna be a lot of stores and stuff, because in each area I decided that I wanted to do like its own commercial thing. Here's West Roxbury Heights. It really didn't change outside of those two yellow buildings and stuff. And then this area is going to be called Medina Meadows. And it's going to be mostly just single family. It's going to have its own school thing from elementary all the way to high school. And and then this is the largest project we did this year, connecting Roxbury Heights to West Roxbury Heights with that beautiful bridge. And then we also added the historical part of Roxbury Heights with with Medalla's mansion, as well as a lot of colorful Caribbean buildings. Here's an extension of that. We also wanted to fill in some of these older buildings that's been standing in the city for a minute. And here we are with my first rendition of speed building Mabrica. Going down. I just love the way that this area looks. It's like that's like one thing that I'm always doing, that I always try to do when I start a new street, a new district, a new area. My only goal is to have both sides of the street have something on it, so it's like I'm just looking at it and it's not empty space that's not supposed to be there. Like you see, like this area right here, I want this to be open. There's gonna be a parking lot over there, but that's supposed to be like a central park. It's a, well, not Central Park, but you get what I mean. And then here's the infamous Jamaica Estates, the yellow, green, and black housing development I've done this past year. I'm very proud of the way it came out. Believe me, it looks a lot better than what was there last year. Or the year before, I should say. And here's the rest of my Tranquil Commons district. This is going to be the neighborhood of Medalla. There's going to be a large flamboyant Victorian mansion where that blue building was. There's a bookstore section. And here's the industrial area, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around, and it's weird because it's like I'm so used to building brick buildings. Like there was a time where it's like if the building wasn't brick, it wasn't done by me. Like that's exactly how it was. I've done a lot of brick buildings in the past, and it's like, Medalla was kind of like the first area in the first city I've done where I really wanted to like expand upon that, where I wasn't doing primarily brick buildings, but I wasn't, not doing primarily brick buildings. And here's a building I've done. It's my grandfather's old apartment building. Every time, that's like the third version of it, and I think it's the best. I think it's the best with those new blocks. And then there's that orange building is gonna be a middle school. Here's a community library, and then this monstrosity right across the street from the cemetery is gonna be the hospital. Cause gotta save on gas mileage. Here's an area that's full of condos and townhouses. Indeed. There's gonna be like the Central Park type aesthetic. Here's a little more of an aerial view of Viejo Medalla. Like I said, I showed that in my last city tour. So if you're curious of seeing more of a deeper dive of what we've done in the past before this one, please by all means check it out. Here's Main Street. There's the police station, and here's the library, the main library. There's a couple of like neighborhood libraries in town, but that's the main one. Here's my I call this like my Brooklyn district because when we were moving my grandmother out of New York City, she lived in Brooklyn, and I was so inspired by those buildings, I had to do them. And here's the Main Street supermarket. It's called Madia's Mercado, because Madia sounds like Medalla a little. Here's Trinidad House, and it's right across the street from Barbados Elementary, which are two buildings which are going to be a part of a series I'm trying to do. Earlier we seen a building that I believe had the Bahamas flag as the color scheme, but they're a part of a series I want to do where it's gonna be a bunch of buildings are based off of Caribbean Creole flags, like e. The reason why I'm stopped here is because my world is, it takes a minute to register. It takes a minute to register, and I just didn't want the world to crash before I was able to check out the best things, which happens to be this area, which is it's gonna be like a religious neighborhood with a church, gonna be like a monastery, orphanage, all that good stuff. And here's the bridge going to City Hall. And that's the city. So please, if you guys want to see more, check out my older videos. It does a more deeper dive into the older districts of Medalla. And thank you guys so much for watching the past, present, and future. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll see you on the next video. And next year, hopefully, I'm praying that it's going to be the final city tour of Medalla, because I hope to be done with the city either by next year or the following year. But thank you guys so much for watching the past, present, and future, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.